WrestleMania 42 looks like it will be in Vegas,
Yeah.
per good friend John Alba
Who
saying,
referenced Brian Alvarez,
"We're
but yeah.
all right. Well, what we you had this, you put this banner in,
Yeah,
so
so there's been obviously a lot of rumors about what they were doing with WrestleMania 42 once they announced that they were not going to be doing it in New Orleans anymore, and everyone thought it was going to be in Vegas, but not a whole lot has been said about that. So we're just going off of what is being said from Brian Alvarez and take it for what it is, you know. But he is claiming that there was a lot of things that they needed to get through to solidify that WrestleMania could be in Vegas next year, because there were shows that were also planned at like the Allegiant Stadium and
mhm.
the other arenas that they were going to be using. But it appears that they might have worked that out as of this week. So it looks like it might be just a matter of time when they finally announce that WrestleMania 42 will be in Vegas. And I get that people are upset about it because obviously there were people who, you know, live near New Orleans or live within like driving distance of New Orleans that were looking forward to going. And if it's going to be anywhere else, it's going to be far more expensive. So they're not happy about it. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, people I feel like were complaining about Vegas being a bad host city for Mania, and I just didn't view it that way at all. Like I feel like the rides to um the arenas and stuff was not bad at all. Everything was within like 10 to 12 minutes from where you were staying, unless you stayed like super far off the strip, and we weren't on the strip, but we were like 2 minutes from the strip. And I
Oh,
think the
no, we were as close as you could be to the strip.
yeah,
I don't wanna say we were not on it,
well, I'm
you
saying
know,
we didn't stay at, like, the
literally, yes.
Cosmo, you know, like, we
Yeah,
weren't
literally, but,
there.
like, we're a 30-second walk from the
Yeah,
strip.
so I mean, I get that the prices were bad, so, like, that's not exciting, but I feel like as far as a host city goes, it's walkable, and it's a walkable city that's fun to look at because there's
It was.
everybody is out at night. There's so many lights, there's so many places to go. There were so many places for watch parties, so, like, if you couldn't go to Mania because of those prices, okay, go to a watch party, because that
Mhm.
was fun too, because you're still around like a ton of fans, and that kind of makes up for the lack of Mania atmosphere.
We watched the
Um,
WrestleMania Night 1 with The Godfather.
I
Like,
know,
you
and
get
I
to
bet
a
you
lot of wrestlers are gonna be doing that to make a cheap buck. Why do you think he did it?
and I bet you next year, if it really is in Vegas, the Hard Rock will do both nights this time.
Yes,
So
because the
it's
woman
like,
did say they fucked up. He didn't realize that it
mhm,
was a two-night thing, which
yeah.
shame on you, first off. But
So
2,
like,
like, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. I don't know if I'm gonna go or not. We'll see. But like, I don't
I
know.
don't
I
know.
feel like it's not a bad place. I feel like this is just there. Everyone has their own reason to complain about it, but I feel like because of the state of negativity surrounding WWE, it's just easy to complain about something like this. Um, but I don't see Vegas as a bad idea. I get it's very TKO of them to do Vegas again. Um, but I mean, for people who want to go to Mania and maybe they went to Mania 41, there were a lot of lessons that I'm sure you could have learned, like gotten from Mania 41 being there that you won't do again for 42. So, like, isn't that
Yeah.
also beneficial?
No, the only issue I have with it, and I'm still gonna have it, is pricing, and it's not
Yeah.
TKO, it's not WWE, it's Vegas. It's Vegas prices. Vegas is an expensive city, so I have an issue with that personally. But when it comes to a host city, no, it's not terrible. Okay, it's not a terrible host city. Everything you just said and more, with it. The only issue that I have with it is just more of a personal one. That WrestleMania should be a traveling act.
Hmm.
It should be in a different state or place, because
See,
I'm for international, but every year it should switch up because that's what makes it the event that it is, very similar to the Super Bowl.
I see,
So,
like, I'm just embracing this right now because there are rumors that they want to have a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. So
oh, I
I,
would rather
I'm,
Vegas.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I would rather, I
I'm
would rather Vegas.
not going to complain that they are doing Las Vegas again, because we could be talking about WrestleMania 43 from Saudi Arabia and nobody in their right mind is going there unless you already live there. So like, I am not going to complain about it being in Vegas whatsoever because we don't know what the future looks like. And if it's just the biggest gripe we have is that they moved it from New Orleans to Las Vegas, that's fine. I'm not traveling like 5,000 miles to a country where I'm probably not safe just to go see WrestleMania when
No,
it's
that's
like,
a good
well, I
point.
complained about it being in Vegas, like it, you don't, and the thing is too, is you don't have to go to WrestleMania. If Vegas is too expensive for you, but you love to do an annual trip to WrestleMania, you could choose to not go, or you could choose to go to Vegas, but like you decide that you aren't going to go to the actual PLE like what
Yeah.
we did. And I wouldn't say that we didn't have a good time because we didn't go to Mania. Like we still went to SmackDown, NXT, and Raw. We still went to WWE World. I didn't feel like we missed out on anything because we weren't at Allegiant Stadium for the show.
No,
And
and
it
we sat
saved us
next
a
to the
ton of
guys.
money.
Yeah, no, we sat next to the guys at the T-Mobile shows, SmackDown,
Mhm.
NXT, and Raw after Mania, and they didn't. They said it was fun and all that, but they didn't. They said we didn't really miss out on a lot. Obviously, the stuff like in the arena, like when Stone Cold smashing that poor woman
Yeah,
and
but
missed his
like,
on ramp. But that's just stuff that you're gonna miss because you didn't go to the show and you didn't experience it live. But the same shit you saw is the same shit you're gonna see if you were sitting at home or
and that's the
at the
best
arena, and
seat
that's okay.
is
Oh, at
at
home is
home.
no,
You
yeah, I would much rather do a party like a watch party at
Yeah.
Hard Rock or host it myself.
Yeah.
In high school I used to host WrestleMania parties for my friends who didn't watch it, but it gave them something to do on a Sunday night. They weren't paying the $60 because
Mhm.
this was before WWE Network and streaming, where you had to
Mhm.
buy it on cable, and it was like it was a party. You had pizza, you had drinks, you had
Well,
a
and
comfy seat. Like I have leather chair. I have the leather seats down here, and people have them in their own man caves and living rooms and whatnot. The seats are stadium seats.
Mhm.
They're not comfortable.
Yeah.
They're not
Well,
comfortable.
it is
So
also not paying for Mania allows you to spend more money to maybe get better tickets for Raw, SmackDown, NXT. It allows you to spend more money to meet wrestlers if you want. It allows you to have more money to spend on merch. Like, it allows you to have money to go and do stuff in Vegas if you want to. Like, because there's so many things that you can do there. Like, it saves you a lot of money. So, I mean,
yes,
obviously, the hope is that they will learn from what they did this year, but they did set records for how much money they made this year. So I'm not
they're
saying
going to
that
every
that's
year.
going to happen. However, I still don't. I don't know. I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. And
Agreed.
that's coming from someone who could drive to Vegas, and I don't know if I'm going to. So